All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have been through dominant strategy, Nash equilibrium. We've been working on reading the chart. And so now what we'll do is we'll test your ability to manipulate this chart. Because one of the next things that they do on the AP test is they'll say, okay, here's the payoff matrix. Now we're going to impose a penalty. Sometimes it's a reward, but for this case, we're going to do a $100 penalty for adding a trick. And you have to redraw the matrix. Now, why don't you take a second and try to do this on your own. Just do it on like a scrap piece of paper. Notice the matrix are the same here because I'm going to keep this one up here, the original, and then I'm going to make this one down here the new one. So take a second, see if you can try it on your own, see what you come up with. Okay, so there's my original one. Here's going to be my new one. So the $100 penalty for adding a trick. Now here's the trick to this. The instinct is, okay, I'll just deduct 100 from every single one. Whoa, Nelly. Do not do that, because you only are going to get a penalty if you add a trick. So if you look here, Horatio is adding a trick in this column. So Horatio has to lose 100 here and here. Okay? Now over here, if we look at Albert, where Albert adds a new trick, Albert adds a new trick here at the 700 and here at the 300. So I'm only going to change 4 numbers because notice this 600 represents what Horatio would get if he chose no new trick, while Alberto chooses to add. So this isn't add new trick for Horatio, this is no new trick. So you have to be very careful here. A lot of times kids will either change all of them, or they'll be savvy and they'll go, oh, I know this top box is no new trick, so I won't mess with that. But they'll reduce everybody else by 100. So you got to be super, super careful. So let's see here. I'm going to type these in. So now I'm going to pause and I'm going to put these in myself so you guys don't have to see me fiddle around with how I do this. But see if you can fix this so that your original turns into a better new, okay? Go. All right, so I changed all of these. So when Horatio added a new trick, it was 800. Now it's 700. Now this one goes down. Both those numbers went down 100 from 300 up here to 200 down here and 200 here to 100 here and the 700 to the 600. Now, if this were a $100 reward for adding a new trick, I would have simply added 100 to each one of these. Okay, so there will be questions that come up that ask you to do this very thing. So hopefully you can do that. And the questions will be on pages, hang on, wait. And the questions that will test your ability to do this oligopoly stuff will be on the back of 4 and pages 5 and 6. They'll test all of your abilities to either redraw the payoff matrix, determine the dominant strategies, and in general, just read the chart. Okay? So if you have any questions, by all means, please let me know, and I will do my best to help you out. But as for oligopolies, this should do it. Thank you very much.